Hi everybody, today is the 8th of November and yesterday, the 7th of November, California, T7 California opened for ordering, so you could order one as of yesterday. So today, thought we've got the brochures on, we've got the information and stuff yesterday for it, so I've been poring over that last night, so we thought today we'd talk you through some of the information that we've got that's here, go through the model lineup quickly. Have a quick look at pricing, have a look at some of the options which are listed on there as well. I've not seen one of these in the flesh in the UK as yet, so some of the specification things I'm purely going off what's actually written down in the brochures. This is for the thing from the ordering point of view. So first off, what's actually available? So we've got California Beach, we've got California Coast, and we've got California Ocean, and in two different engine variations. We've got the 150 PS diesel, and the 2-litre TSI petrol versions. So currently they're the only two derivatives of which you can order, and this is going forward. There will be the plug-in hybrid version. I don't have an exact date of when that's actually going to be available for order yet, but again we'll update you when that comes through as well. So before we get into specification and things like that, let's have a very quick look at pricing, because I know that's one thing you're all going to be asking about first off. So let's get that out of the way to start with. So I'm just going to look at the diesel versions because that's the only one that's available in all three models. So in the Beach version, you can only get it as a diesel. So let's just look at the pricing from on there. So pricing wise for the California Beach diesel, in its standard format, just under £63,500. I'm rounding these numbers up just to make it easy for us to work it out from on there. The Coast version, £70,600, it's roughly speaking, and then the Ocean variation is £77,500. So quite a big jumps up between all those. So between the Coast and the Beach, the difference in there is £7,200 approximately. And then moving from the Coast up to the Ocean is £6,900 approximately difference between them there. And obviously the specification changes. It's very difficult to compare the Beach because the Beach is it's a different model in its own really. So put that one to one side. The two that people will be comparing will be the Coast and the Ocean. You know, what is the difference? What are you getting for that £6,900? So moving on, what else are we getting there? Well, let's talk about colours. 2 whole pages of colours in the brochure, and there's a reason for that, and it's to do with the roof. So as always with the California, you've always had base colour of the vehicle and then a colour-coded roof, and for the first time you can get the roof in black instead. Now I've looked at these and I've done some simulations of how the vehicles would look. I think in some colours I think it looks really nice having the black roof. In other colours I'm not so sure. It's going to be a very definite thing that's going to be personal to you about how you like the vehicle and how it looks, whether you want to go for that black roof or not. I think things like, for example, the Indian grey, which is always been probably the most popular colour. Whether it will be in the future, I don't know, because there's some nice colours that's on this platform, that's on the new T7 California, that's there as well. So Fontana red, one of my favourites, looks really good. Lots of alloy wheel choices. So the alloy wheels all come with standard alloy wheels that's on there for the different size of vehicle, and they're all in the silver colour. But you do have the option to upgrade to like bi-colour alloys, depending on which particular models you're actually looking at. And we've not a huge difference in cost either to actually change those. So if you wanted to change the wheels to a bi-colour, for example, whether it's on a Coast or an Ocean, you can do that for different sizes, but they're around £240 as an upgrade. I think that will be quite a popular upgrade, I think. If you look at how we were with the Woodstocks, for example, on the old T6.1, that was a no-cost option. You could change to that. How many vehicles do you see with Woodstock alloys? It pretty much became the standard, really. There was probably more with that option on than there were without that option on. But obviously there's a cost involved now from on this, whether you want that variation. You know my thoughts on that as far as the colour coding, looking for the darker and then some of the black bits on the vehicle as well. I quite like those wheels, but I know quite a few people don't as well, so personal opinion on that as well. So that's one thing to pick up on. Have a look at the wheel choices that's on there as well and decide whether you want to upgrade. I said, in the scheme of things, £240 is not a huge amount of money if you want to change something visual on the vehicle. That's quite an easy fix to do. So we talked about colour, seen on those. That's one way of obviously changing the appearance of the vehicle. We talked about wheels, which is the other one that's in there as well. And then the final one, which is something to consider, is which side of the vehicle do you want the awning on? So the awning will come as standard on the passenger side of the vehicle, and you have the ability to upgrade that for no cost and put it on the driver's side, which is where we normally would see the awning on the driver's side on the 6.1, but that's because that's where the door was on the 6.1. Obviously on the new T7 California, It's got both doors on both sides, it's got twin doors on there. So, and you can effectively, you've seen some of the brochure shots, I'm sure, I'll try and post one now, that shows you with like a blow up type awning on one side and the actual pull out awning on the other. So you can have stuff on both. But the awning from the factory, you can have that on either side of the vehicle. I suspect possibly that the standard, where it is standard, which is on the passenger side, is probably the place I think personally is where it probably should be, especially here in the UK, because if you've got a conversion, most of those are on that side. Things like normal blow-up awnings and other things like that which connect into these things are all designed for vehicles on that side of the vehicle. So I think that's a big positive as well for it to be on that side. Plus as well, your kitchen units are on that side, and on the other section of the kitchen units, obviously is when you get into your fridge and things like that. So it's a little bit more undercover that's on there. So I think that's the right thing for it to be on that side, but you do have the option to change it and have it on the other side if you wish. Comment below, let us know what you think, but that's my general thinking. Right, let's have a look at the options. I don't really like reading from this, but this is the easiest way to do this because it's still all fairly fresh. So we've got obviously solid colours, things like white, for example, no cost options. Then you have got, you can have things like pure grey that's in there with a black roof. That is a cost of £354, not a huge amount. And then you're moving up to your metallics, and obviously you've got your two-tone paints as well that's in there. So metallic, £1,380. Two-tone colour that's in there as well is 2940. So obviously big increase for that two-tone. Do look nice though, I have to say, but a big increase that's in there as well. You have a choice of bellows. You can upgrade and go for toffee brown or, for example, glacier blue that's in there. £882 if you want to increase that and go for the different colour that's around there. So those are both in there as well. And then the seating wise, the Art Velour seating, which is in the vehicle, you do have that as an option still as well, and that's £1,230 should you want to see that. Obviously we haven't seen that in the flesh yet. We're going to assume it is similar kind of feel and touch as it was on the previous 6.1, but obviously more in the multivan setup. 3-zone air conditioning, option on the beach, standard on the coast and ocean, £1,266 if you want to add that to the beach. Heated seats are an option that's on there as well. DCC, the adaptive chassis control, is an option that's in there. It's not an option on the ocean, but it's an option on the other vehicles that's on there as well, £1,320 should you need that. Interior camper interior lighting concept, which is here. So this is standard on the ocean, and it's a £348 option on the beach and the coast, which you can get that's on there as well. Power sliding doors, you can have electric doors on the beach, £1,320. You can add those as an option. You can have power latching versions for the coast at £228. And then obviously you can also have electric sliding power doors, easy option, which is on the coast is £1,440 or £1,200 on the ocean. We talked about electric doors before on campers. Do you need them? Do you not need them? It is quite a nice option depending on how you're using the vehicle that's there as well. But at the same time, you know, it's bleeping, you're moving vehicles around, things like that, that's in there as well. I've never really been a huge fan on the previous model. Won't know whether I am or not on this particular model. It is a big cost option personally that's on there as well. I do like the power latching. Whether that might be something, if you're looking at a coast, you might decide, oh, might like to have the power latching side of it, which you can do. It's only £228, which is quite a nice option. Obviously you're going to get that standard on the ocean version as well. So jury's out on those ones. We'll find out about those. Power latching tailgate, £114 on the beach and on the coast. Again, this is something you get standard on the ocean. These are all the little things that you're getting on the ocean, which obviously is making up that price difference we talked about earlier on. Things like floor mats you can get. An interesting one here as well, there's a carpet for the rear passenger side for in the back here, which you can get. It's like an inlay carpet. Not seen that, don't know how that looks in reality, not seen it from on there as well, but that is an option on the coast and the ocean. Discover Pro, so the navigation system, it's £900 on the beach and the coast. Again, standard on the ocean if you feel you need that. Wireless phone charging, £450 across the board, not standard on anything, and it's an option across the board that's in there. Okay, I'm going to whip through these I'm going to whip through these options quickly. I'm not going to give you pricing for everything, because just so you know that it's on there. We can have a look at those later. Obviously tow bar, we can definitely get a tow bar, that's on there as well. You can upgrade the keys, get 4 keys if you want there. And then things like, for example, you could add a camera if you wanted to on something like the camper. That's £396. I think that's a huge option. That's probably not a bad one for the to add to the beach camper that's there as well. So we've got like advanced parking packages, we've got advanced system packages which you can add onto these as well. Things like chrome strips you can get, heated windscreens an option on the beach that's on there as well. Mud flaps, for example. You know, the list does go on, as we see from in here. Alloy wheels. I've said obviously to have a look at the alloys and decide whether you want, but to give you an idea on pricing that's on here. So on the beach camper, all comes with in the silver version that's in there. There's only one wheel upgrade that's there. But when we start looking at the coast and the ocean, that's where you can go for the bi-colour, which I think might be something worth doing. As I said, £240 on both models to upgrade that to a 17 and 18 inch, depending on the one. And then you can go to a 19 inch wheel on the ocean for £654. Do quite like that wheel as well that's in there. So there's a couple of options that's in there. And then on the camper side of things, this is where it gets a little bit different. You can see where the differences are that's here. So we've got 2 heater things here. We've got auxiliary heater, which is heater for windscreen, de-icing, heating and venting the cab, radio, remote control. We've seen this option on things like the Grand California before. I'm not quite convinced. I don't quite understand what this option is for. If anybody does know what the option is for, let us know in the comments box below, because it's not something that I think you need if you've got the parking heater. I think the parking heater is the one that you want. Now that's standard on the ocean, which is £3,120, which is a lot of money. That's there, so obviously that's something to consider when you're looking. It's standard on the ocean, it has been before. It's now an option on the coast from looking at this, and on the beach camper as well. Do you need that? Do you not need that? That's, you know, it's big question there. It's a big question. When are you using your vehicle? How are you going away? I was recently away. I was up in Keswick. I've got an electric heater which I have in the beach, which I just plugged in. I was on mains anyway, which I would be at that time of year, and I don't tend to go off from there, and that kept us nice and toasty. That was in there. The electric heater was £20. Slight difference between that and £3,000 and odd pound, but it depends on where you're using it. If you're going to be going up into the Alps or somewhere like that, and you're going to be off grid, for example, and you haven't got big power banks and things like that, then the diesel heater does obviously come into its own and keep that vehicle going. So, and then finally there's an option that's on here as well. It talks about cupboards in graphite grey, and it uses ocean kitchen with outdoor folding table for cooking and roof storage box, £180. Now at the moment I don't know 100% what that is. If you've seen the videos when we're in Dusseldorf, the table that comes out of the kitchen side of it and flaps up so it's on the outside of the vehicle, that's pretty much what I think that is. And I think the storage box is what is up here, which is above people's heads, that's on the vehicle. However, when we do find out that, and I do know that for certain 100% that's what it is, obviously we'll let you know as well. So let's just talk briefly about the models. So we've got the beach camper, and then we've got the coast, and we've got the ocean. So that's the 3 models, 3 lineup as we go from on there. All got pop-up roof, manual in the beach, and then my understanding is we've got electric in the coast and the ocean version that's there. Other than that, the vehicle's same size, same length, same width, all that kind of good stuff as well that's in there. So the beach itself, 5 seats, got 5 seats in there, so it's got a row just like I'm sitting on here, with 3 row of seats. It's in, obviously they're a bit further forward, and then in the rear of the vehicle, got the kitchen unit in the back, and obviously the sleeping that then turns into the bed in the beach version. When we move up to the coast then, obviously we're then getting our kitchen units, we're getting our sink, our burner, our fridge, which is in there as well, our water supply, and then we're moving to the actual ocean, and the ocean is getting those extra things like that parking heater, for example. We'll be doing a video in probably about a week's time, 2 weeks time, and again I'm going to give you my top tips of what I think are the essentials to be ordering with the vehicle. We've done this previously on the 6.1. I know a lot of you have taken that and gone, ah yes, I know that. That's the thing, I've got to order it with a comfort mattress and things like that. That was on the old model. I'm going to do the same thing, give you my thoughts on what we need to order on the new model. I'm going to go from beach, coast to ocean, and give you those as well. But today was just about getting the information out to you. So you go, can you order one? Yes, you can. These are the different vehicles that are available, so what the engine variations, as I said, into the petrol and diesel. To start with, it's in there. Obviously we've got the 3 model lineup, so we're going to get more information about this vehicle as the time progresses. I've come over to Liverpool today. We've been talking about it in the office probably for a good hour this morning before we started filming, just talking. People were asking questions about, oh, do you think it's this, what's this got with it, you know, all these type of things, and that's what we're doing at the moment. So we're learning as we go along, and obviously when we've learned, we're going to pass that on to you and get all that information out there as well. So hopefully you've had the time to digest that. Maybe you can watch the video and pause it at different bits as well to get out there. So we've got all the information out there for you. I said obviously the excitement is now going to start because we've got something to look forward to for when these vehicles are actually going to start to arrive. Have lots and lots of videos when they come as well. Hopefully going to get to see one at some point soon. Don't know when that is, but obviously if we do and we can video it, if we see one, we can talk you through that as well and give you some of the options. And obviously we'll get more information about exactly what we're getting on each model. And we can have a bit more of a discussion about that. We'll talk about things like the awnings on the side of it as well. I've got some videos coming up. We're talking about awnings again in that as well on the previous, on the 6.1 model. So lots and lots of stuff that's coming up as well. So if you're liking this, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, because we've obviously got lots and lots of good stuff coming, and we'll see you next time.